what I learned with working with these people is really that most people, and I'm guessing that is you too, you already know the basics. You already know that you should be sleeping more, you know you shouldn't, drink too many coffees and eat too much sugar, and that you should move your body. And most of the time where people really, where I see the biggest problem is when life gets busy, when things get stressful, and you cannot keep up with the consistency that you had in mind. We know the typical January, I throw over my entire life, and now I'm gonna live like this, and 30 days later, you're back into your old patterns. And the reason is, one thing, that you don't have a health system, okay? So usually, willpower is a terrible thing. It lasts for a couple, it's very fragile, let's put it like this. But if you have a health system, that system removes friction. And it will take away the decision making of, oh, should I, eat this healthy broccoli now, or should I pick that donut? If you build a system around the most important things in your life, it will take away that decision. So you only have to do it once. Do one good decision, and then it takes care in and of itself. And that's exactly what I would want to teach you today. I'm actually not going to talk about, how much sleep you should be getting, and like what exactly you should be eating, and how your morning routine should look like. I'm going to give you the things that I believe most successful people have, but don't talk about, and that is this health system. Okay, are we ready for system number one? Okay, perfect. Okay, first system, it has to do with sleep, but mainly it is around light. So I'm wearing an Oura Ring for like 6 years. Is anybody else wearing an Oura Ring? Okay, so we have some people who are also collecting that data. And what I can tell you after all this time, there are two big levers that are most important for sleep. And number one is actually getting enough hours of sleep. Most people think, well, if I go to bed, I'm just, drop dead basically, wake up, and then I got a lot of hours. And most people don't get enough hours in. So if you want to sleep your 7.5 hours, you need to make sure that you lay in bed at least 8 hours. Okay, so give yourself the opportunity to even get enough sleep. And that's number one. And I think a lot of people might be on a good track. The second thing is the hardest part to do, and that is to go to bed at the same time. This is for most people, and honestly for me, it has been super hard to crack this down. And I've honestly tried everything. I put an alarm on my phone, and then would always turn off the alarm. And I tried almost everything to hit a consistent sleep schedule. And the only thing that worked, I'm going to show you now. Oops, sorry. The only thing that actually worked is, I put the picture already on there, is setting up automations with light. So I bought smart light bulbs. Okay, so you can see this is my living room, and everything turns red automatically at least an hour before I go to bed. So for me it's actually 2 hours, but for beginners, let's say, aim for at least 30 minutes or 1 hour where lights either dim or you turn on everything in red, orangish colors. That will help give your brain the signal, hey, it's time to produce melatonin. You don't have the blue light that interrupts melatonin, and you actually get super tired. Be in that room for 10 minutes, you're gonna start yawning even though you think you're not tired. So it is super effective to get an automation, get a smart light, get an automation, and turn your lights red before you want to go to sleep. Now the next advancement, if you crack this, is to actually force yourself to go to bed at the same time, is to set up an automation where lights just turn off. Okay, so for me, this is at 9 p.m. sharp. So at 8:59, I'm literally in bed waiting for my house to like go dark. And that's honestly been the only thing that helped me to go to bed at the same time. Anything else has failed so far. So it is a bit hardcore, but it really helps you to like hit your bedtime consistently.
And do you use it in the morning to wake you up?
No, actually no. I have like blinds and then they just go up. Like I wake up naturally, but if you do that, it will help you to basically wake up at the same time every morning too, naturally. So I prefer not waking up with an alarm, which you know is another cortisol hit like right in the morning. Yes.
Who hides your phone?
My phone is actually in the living room. I don't take it to the bedroom.
I feel like that's where a lot of people will
Yes.
have difficulty.
Yes, I think this would be good if you can. Yeah, I have an analog little clock basically if I want to have a look at what time it is, and my phone never goes into the bedroom. Yeah. Okay, and just to drive this point home, I've put some data from my Oura Ring here. Okay, so you can see here me being on my laptop on the left-hand side and going to bed at like midnight, around midnight. What you notice is I literally got 10 minutes of deep sleep, which is way not enough. Okay, you want to aim for at least an hour of deep sleep per night, because that's the time when your brain flushes out the toxins and where your body actually regenerates. So you really want to get that deep sleep, and that usually comes at the beginning of the night. That's also why it's called midnight. So the middle of the night, you should go to bed. Most people should go to bed before that time. And then here, you can see I'm still waking up 3 times a night for my baby, okay? But as I told you, I go to bed at 8:59, right before. And then I basically drop right into the deep sleep that I need for 1.5 hours, and also get enough REM sleep, almost 2 hours, which is where memory consolidation happens, okay? So this stuff does matter, and I can highly recommend for you guys to, you know, get a group for, I don't know, a month. I think it is for free, you can try it, and see the data for yourself, and really have a look. Okay, this is system number 1. Let's move on to system number 2, which is wearing a CGM. Does anybody know what this is? Okay. You are nodding. It is a continuous glucose monitor. This is usually stuff that people who have diabetes wear. And you can just go on Abbott and order it online. It's called Freestyle Libre. I can send you the link afterwards. So basically what you do is you attach a little sensor to your arm. It's like a little filament. It looks like a needle, but it's not a needle, okay, so don't worry. And it also doesn't hurt, okay? You just attach it to your arm and you can track your blood glucose for 14 days with this, okay? And I do this with all my clients because honestly it is very, very direct feedback that you are getting. So you can see the immediate feedback, the lunch that you're going to eat now. You can scan it and have a look, and you'll see how is my body reacting to this specific meal, because everybody will react differently, and you can also see it will change based on how much sleep you were getting, how stressed you are, and most specifically how your biology is reacting to the food that you're eating, because there is no perfect one diet for everybody. There is a perfect diet for your body, and you can find that blueprint by tracking your own data with this. Okay, a CGM like this is around 60 euros, I think. So it is an investment, but I'm thinking this is honestly totally worth it. Exactly. And why does this stuff matter for you guys? Glucose, or the blood glucose, shows up in, being irritated, being moody, having a sudden crash in the afternoon, and you can't explain why you're so tired and you just cannot focus. Like, all these things are symptoms of blood sugar dysregulation. And learning which feeds will keep you stable, and you'll have, this is how ideally your blood glucose would look like, pretty stable throughout the day. Even though I had 3 meals, they are so well balanced out that I have stable energy and a stable blood glucose. And just maybe what you want to avoid is this. So you want to avoid a very big spike up, and you'll be surprised, you know, I just had a little ripe banana. Like you would think, okay, this is fruit, this is like very healthy, but actually for me, it spikes a lot. So this is why this experiment is super helpful to really know like what behaviors might I have that are really not very useful. Okay? Okay, so system number 2 is track your blood glucose, and system number 3 is get an essentials database. What do I mean with this? Essentially, most of you are probably doing a really amazing job at your work, so you set up all these workflows and you optimize the processes. But the thing is, you know, your job, you might change it in a year from now, you might be doing something completely differently. And that's why I want to advocate to actually set up workflows for your life. So me and my husband, we actually have a Notion page called Life Operating System. And on this Notion, we have a couple of very important Notion pages for us. So, you know, building life pages that are here to stay. Because if you invest in your life, this compounds and this will stack up. So what I like to do as well when I work with clients, the first thing is I turn the health shopping into a predictable workflow. What do I mean? So I usually set up a big Notion page or like a database, and in this, let's say, now with the CGM, you've learned, oh shit, my breakfast isn't actually that healthy. I want to switch to protein powder with some chia seeds, you know, something that will give me a stable blood sugar, and also I'm committed to take my supplements, okay? Most people, you order them once and then, I don't know, you have a work commitment, then you have to travel to Germany, or like life gets busy, right? So usually, again, the consistency is lacking. What you achieve with this is I basically took the time to note down all the health, let's say, gadgets and supplements and superfoods, whatever I might need, which is my personal health system that I want to take anywhere where I go. So this is especially useful when you're traveling a lot. So every time I travel to Germany, what I do, I go into my database, I have all the links from Amazon or the online shops there that I'm using, and I make sure when I fill this out that all of this ships across Europe, because I usually travel across Europe. And then right before I go to Germany, I do click, 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 I order my supplements, my protein powder, my favorite matcha, all the things. I ship them there in advance, I arrive, and I plug into my health system at once again. So I never even get out of my routine. Okay? Perfect. So I highly encourage you guys to not only take time to set up a workflow at work, but for your life, and like build these Notion systems for yourself. Okay, system number 4. This is honestly one of my favorites because it's so easy. Usually you have one home base, right? You have one home where you spend a significant amount of time. Does any one of you work from home? Yeah, okay, lots of people. Okay, then this is especially important for you guys because you might be surprised how toxic a home can be. And especially if you're sitting at home all day, you're breathing in the same air. And I did this experiment recently, you know, you can buy these small air monitors and actually have a look, and you would be surprised how polluted the inside air is compared to the outside air. It's actually quite astonishing. And the great thing about this is you can make your home into a real sanctuary. And you know, whenever you are at home, work from home, you have the cleanest air, the best water, and no pollutants that can inflame your body. So the 3 things that I would recommend you guys living here in Portugal would be invest in a reverse osmosis system, which is cleaning your water. Why a reverse osmosis system and not any other random filter? Because this is the gold standard that filters microplastics, heavy metals, medical residue. So this is really the gold standard of like nothing gets basically through. But then you also achieve dead water essentially. So what you want to do is then to remineralize that water so your cells can actually take in the water and you are actually hydrated. Okay, so if you would invest in one thing, I would say look at your water if you're drinking tap water at this point. The second thing is having a look at the air. So in the air, there are a lot of pollutants that travel around, especially now. I've noticed I have a lot of sweet Portuguese neighbors, but they all burn fire in their home. And then when you open the door, you know, to let like fresh air in, suddenly my entire house turns red, and I'm like, what the hell is going on? There is literally so much pollution that comes in that you don't notice, but also from just cooking, you know, like if you cook with oil, this is super polluting for the air, and it creates oxygen species that you also inhale. Why is this a problem? It basically causes inflammation throughout your body, and you breathe this in all day long, and it's, you know, it's such a simple thing that can just be cleaned and avoided. So yeah, take a look at your air. And the last thing here in Ericeira, especially with the very high humidity, when humidity hits above 50%, which is on most days, you have a lot of possibility for mold to grow. And that again, it's an allergen, it causes a lot of inflammation, and it can be a mycotoxin to your body. So I would definitely advise you to get a dehumidifier. Okay. Just to have a look at how does this whole thing look like. So this is my reverse osmosis filter. For the air purification system, make sure it is big enough for the room that it is positioned in. So you have to look at the liter, or like the size of the room basically, and then what's the size that you should be getting. And a dehumidifier should also be big enough. Okay? The great thing about this is you basically invest once and then you never have to think about it again. So it's really worth it. Okay, and
I asked a question about the
yes?
air purifier. How much does it have, like when does it have to work? Like let's say because you have different space in the house. So you have the bedroom, you have the office, and living room. So before you use the space, how long can you run so you it's okay?
5 minutes. It's very quick, yeah. It just needs to be big enough and it needs to be strong enough. Yeah.
So you have for every room?
Yeah, I have one in every room. Or in every room that I spend significant time in. So like if I work from home, so I do have one in the office and I do have one in my living room area, which is where I spend most time in. So you could just set up like this, or if you have a bigger budget, I would probably put one in each room. Yeah.
I have a couple questions about water. Is now or after?
Depends. I would say yeah, after probably. Okay, let's quickly talk about system number 5, which I think most people that I talk about this system framework love the most because it saves you the most time. So what I basically do is I've hired a house help, and she comes in twice a week. She cooks every Wednesday and every Sunday for 3 or 4 consecutive days. She does all my meals. She does the grocery. She cooks and then she cleans. So basically, I never go out grocery shopping, and I don't spend 2 hours per day cooking for myself healthy meals. With a system like this, you will eat 99% better than 99% of the people, and you save the time not cooking, which is amazing, honestly. Exactly, so how does this system work? Again, you want to set up a Notion page where you put down your recipes. So for me, I have 2 breakfast options, I have 4 lunch options, and I have 8 dinner options. So I design basically these recipes. I give them to this lovely lady, and we rotate everything. So like, you know, it doesn't get too boring. Like every Wednesday, let's say, you're laughing. Every Wednesday, you know, she picks like one lunch and one dinner, and on Sundays, then she picks another lunch and another dinner, and like this. It's great because you avoid snacking, you have very stable blood glucose. You can plug in your learnings from the system earlier. So you learned, hey, rice actually is spiking me a lot, so maybe you don't want to do like, a lunch option with rice. So you switch it out with quinoa, and then you plug that into your system, and you get somebody to cook healthy, delicious meals for you. Yeah, and that's basically it. Okay, now any questions or let's
By the way, thank you. This was I learned more in the last 20 minutes than I think in the last couple of years, like researching here and there and just hearing things. So thank you. Yeah.
I'm happy.
Very well structured, super informative, incredible value. So guys, questions.
Yeah, what
We
are
have
the
like,
questions?
what time is it? Does anyone have the time?
It's 11:04.
We have like 5 minutes of questions.
The best part is you still have how to say joy. For some people, when they get into longevity, they become suddenly serious and sad, and then
Yeah.
that's the worst thing for that sort of.
Then I think you missed something about
Yeah, it's
longevity.
become too.
Yes, so the CGMs, I tried them out here for like half a year, and my idea from the CGMs, not for biohackers, is that I love that it's accurate. So mine had like regular hyper courses, like low sugar
Yeah.
at night.
Yeah.
And I've not found a way to navigate that. It's like, I understand where they are, all
Yeah,
these
yeah.
things matter, but have you found a way to really work with accurate data? Because really everybody's
Yeah.
false and wrong, and just
I think, what you want is you always want to look at trends, right? Like, you can tell, like, it doesn't, actually, for you being a healthy person, it doesn't matter if it's 75, 85, or 95. Because if you know it's like roughly below 100, I feel bad. Like, it will give you the cue that you need, right? So, it doesn't need to be hyper accurate. Like, what you can do, obviously, you can do the finger prick, right? You can check using the CGM, and then you check with the finger prick. And for me, I found it's usually 5 minutes delay, but it is actually quite accurate. And if you're dropping low at night, it might be that you're just not eating enough, and you get very low at night. So probably you're lacking some carbs that that will keep you sleeping well. Because if you don't have enough carbs, then your body will probably wake up at night, go really low, wake up at night because it's like, what the hell, Deidre? Like, I don't have enough fuel, and you will wake up and be like, shit, I'm awake at night, it's 2 a.m. Like, what's going on? Like, this can happen. So for some people, they take, for instance, a spoon of honey before going to bed.
we tried all these things and couldn't figure it out, and we lost trust in them. But
Okay.
I think the learning with it during the day was
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, and that's the thing, like, what you want to get out of it is, in the end, is trends, right? Like, how do I feel right now, and what is the data showing? Is it showing a downward trend, an upward trend? Like, it will give you, like, it can detect the spikes that you need to know, that will make you feel better. Yeah.
Do you also measure like progress, or is it just like I'm feeling good? Or like how do you know you're sort of doing the job that you want? How do you
Yeah, I
know
do.
you're like on track with what you want?
Yeah. Okay, so for this, I personally measure a lot of biomarkers, which if you go on my website, you have an extensive list of things that I measure. So for instance, with the blood sugar, you can have a look at HbA1c, which is the blood sugar, your average blood sugar in the last 3 months. And it will show you, okay, like, where is your number at? Like, need to have roughly a stable blood sugar, right? Like obviously you wanna, in an ideal way you wanna pair it with data that reflects.
And that data comes from like
Blood, usually blood tests. So the HbA1c is a blood test that you do, but there's also other markers that you can be doing for fitness, for instance, where like how long can you plank? Can you plank for 5 minutes? Fantastic, you're in the top 1%. Like there are some other markers that you can take a look at. So if you are interested in that, I would say go to my website and take a look at all the markers that I'm measuring. And if you have particular questions, why am I measuring these markers? First, ask ChatGPT and then ask me.
Okay, I think we have time for one more question.
About water, what's your take on distilling water and then mineralizing?
You can, I mean, it is kind of like a distillation process. I don't think it is the same because the reverse osmosis, it is like a filter that is so small and granular that things like microplastics, which you cannot see these days, because they're so tiny, they will be soaked up. So you don't only want to like burn, let's say.
And the second thing is, do you know about the fluoride and chlorine in the water here? Do you know what's the situation there?
I haven't looked at the reports. I think you could probably get a report like, I know in Germany, at the municipality, you can actually have a look at this is the area where I live in, and this is the report. So you could take a look at it, but it will be filtered with the reverse osmosis system. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
I think we do need to kind of get into the co-working mode because I see people already setting up in the restaurant. Yes, we've been told off for that before.
If you have any questions, I'm gonna stick around, so just find me, I guess, in the next 15 minutes.
Yeah, sounds good. Thank you so much. Great, so what we'll do guys now, there's a bunch of tables against the wall. We'll just move them to the middle so that we can all kind of start getting to work, and whoever's staying for co-working day lunch, go outside, make good water so that we can all kind of have lunch at the same time. Thank you so much for coming. If you have any questions.
Nice.
Very funny setup.
3 years. 3 years.